Sarah, your cue. All right, I'd like to welcome everyone to the November 5th, 2020 meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. Would you please rise and join me in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. I'm Jeff Benton, President of the Board. Commissioner Merrill is not here today. Commissioner Lewis, to my left, is here as well, and Sarah DeNova is going to run the meeting. Administrator Fromer is here, or kind of here. He's smoking out, but he'll be back, so we can begin.
Resolution number 20-989, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held on November 2nd, 2020.
So moved.
Second, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 20-989. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-990, in the matter of approving purchase orders, then and now certificates and payments of warrants and batch numbers CMA PR 1104 and memo transfers and batch numbers MTA PR 1104.
So moved.
Second, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 20-990. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-991, in the matter of granting annexation petition from the agent for the petitioner, Porter R. Welch, attorney at law, requesting annexation of .803 acres of land in Berkshire Township to the village of Sunbury.
So moved.
Second, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 20-991. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-992, in the matter of requesting an advance of payment on senior citizens services levies funds, which are lawfully applicable to the purposes of the current fiscal year or in accordance with RC 321.34.
So moved.
Second, discussion. That's your cue, if you want to. You don't have to say anything. And, yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
Masks,
Morning.
yeah.
Yes.
It's much better to hear you without the
Behind
mask.
the mask.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Good
fair.
morning. It's nice to see everyone this morning. And as the Commissioner Benton knows, we had talked last week about this being a possibility of making a request. We were hoping not to. We were hoping the settlement had been able to be worked out before this time, but these funds will assist us in getting through the end of the year. So we appreciate your consideration, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
I think this is a fairly routine, as we know, it's a fairly routine request by a number of our agencies that rely on property taxes, and the settlement is complicated, and the treasurer and auditor have to make sure the numbers are right before they distribute the funds. So, but this is certainly a reasonable advance request and not unusual at all. So we'll take a vote.
Vote on motion 20-992. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
So while we got you, how are things going at the center with, if you don't mind, just a 1 minute update on things? I know you've had some setbacks, you've had some positives and then some setbacks, so.
Yes, so we are progressing forward. We actually opened our fitness center and fitness programming under gyms and dance studio regulations in cooperation with the Delaware General Health District. That occurred on September 21st. And on October 5th, we opened our pool. All of those programs and classes are very limited in size. We're only allowing 9 in exercise classes with 1 instructor, so there's only a maximum of 10 people. And in the pool, for social distancing, we can only allow 5 people in the pool at a time. Older adults are not encouraged to wear masks while they're exercising, so there's 12 feet in distancing between participants to guard against the spread. And of course, even since March when we closed the center, we've been providing essential services throughout, home delivered meals. We've had no interruptions in those services, and our in-home care program has continued to operate, although some services have been discontinued, like adult daycare, because they are congregate in nature. but other services that are performed in the home have continued. And then just Monday, we reopened some of our other program typically viewed as senior citizens socialization programs. Our billiards reopened, much to the pleasure of a number of our particularly male members, and enjoy that.
And Commissioner Merrill.
Yes, yes. And everyone is doing a great job following the protocols, keeping their masks on until they get to their exercise class, or keeping it on for other classes. And yes, while we have had a couple of positives, one was recently was somewhat of concern, because initially we thought there might be possibly a break in our protocols that would have caused contact, but there was not. We were very fortunate that there were no members affected and no other staff affected. And then just this week we learned of a positive volunteer that may have impacted 2 other volunteers. But our protocols are really, working. They're working well and keeping those contacts limited when there is a positive. It's inevitable that there will be. So we're doing all that we can to mitigate any high risks.
Sure. Well, and those services that you're providing for people are so important, especially now when people can't go so many. Even if they can go somewhere, it's well, and oftentimes elderly can't and are staying home more than ever. And so to get out and do some socializing would be really crucial.
Yes, and that's why it was so important. We've been advocating with the state to permit senior centers to reopen, because the social isolation is as damaging. I recently read a report where it's as damaging as smoking is to the health, not just mental health, of course, but physical health.
Physical too.
So, yeah, so we were really pleased and did all the work that we could to make sure that things were set up so that we provided a safe environment for our older residents.
Boy, and you've done a great job, just a great job.
Thank you.
Can't imagine what that must have been like.
Very, very
these
tricky.
months.
Yeah,
It's
a lot of prep. And we're being tested. Employees are and volunteers are starting next week, are being tested every 2 weeks, because that's one of the requirements.
Oh, that's great.
So that's one of the, one of the ways we're able to at least kind of see where things stand at that point in time, anyway.
Yes, right.
So.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you. for a
thank you. It's
great
good to
job.
see some operations resuming, and hopefully they'll continue and expand.
Yes.
And while you're taking care of the clients and your staff and the volunteers, it's great. So-
Thank you very much, and thank you for your support, and
Oh.
thank you for approving the advancement.
Welcome.
Okay.
Well, thanks for coming in. I'm glad you asked for an update,
Yeah,
because that's,
yeah, it's a good chance to get the update, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
thank you.
All right,
Take care.
Sarah, we can continue.
Resolution number 20-993, in the matter of establishing a new organization key and approving a supplemental appropriation for the Emergency Management Agency.
So move.
Second, discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Sean Miller, Delaware County Emergency Management Director. For your consideration today is a project that is through the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio, and it's a hazmat grant, and we are happy to get 100% of the project funded through the grant. It's usually a fairly competitive grant, and the project scope entails the purchase of a hazardous materials training meter. And so now with hazardous materials response, the fire departments can know if they're going into a potentially hazardous environment, and they utilize 4 gas meters or 5 gas meters to tell them if the environment is, maybe there's a flammable gas present. This meter is very similar in appearance to those 4 or 5 gas meters, and it will register, false readings, so that if you're in a training environment, that will simulate an actual reading on a real meter. So it's a great training aid, and as I mentioned, this grant will pay for 100% of the cost. EMA will have, in the end, no out-of-pocket expense, and it is very much in line with our drills and trainings over the past few years, so I think it'll be a valuable item. And it was approved, the project was approved by the EMA board back in October. So with that, I'd be happy to take any questions you might have.
Good. Any
No
questions?
questions.
Vote?
Vote on motion 20-993. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Any updates?
Thank you, Sean.
Primarily on the logistical front, the State Emergency Management Agency, working with ODH, has implemented shipments of PPE again, and so we're very fortunate to still have 22 Court Street.
I know.
And
Right.
it's helpful, and the state is going to be, I think, shipping maybe 5 pallets over the next month or so, and, it's, I think, a sign that the numbers are going back up, but we are in good shape as far as PPE, so that's
Okay,
helpful.
that's good.
The requests have ticked up a little bit, but not a whole lot, and we stand ready to help our partners. We were able to assist, Board of Elections with some
That's
supplies prior to the election, schools and that sort of thing. So we're in good shape for the time
Good,
being.
good. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Commissioners.
thanks.
Have a good day. Take care.
You too.
Okay.
Resolution number 20-994, in the matter of setting the bid date and time to receive bids for the Lower Alum Creek Relief Pump Station and Force Main project.
So move.
Second, discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Tiffany Mag, Director of Environmental Services. So this is the same project that we discussed last week. This is just the resolution to advertise for the bids. So once again, it's the 14 MGD pump station. It'll be located off of Bale Canyon Road. There's also a 24-inch diameter force main that leads all the way into the treatment plant. The pump station portion is estimated at $6.8 million and the force main at $4.7 million.
Good. Yeah, you updated us last week, so we're up current on this, so we'll take a vote.
Thank you.
Vote on motion 20-994. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tiffany. We're waiting on,
In the matter of
Oh,
approving,
there he is.
the matter for establishing a new fund, new organization key, and approving supplemental appropriations.
So move.
second, discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Jeff Fischel, Director of Delaware County EMS. There's members of our department that are on the Ohio Task Force 1. They respond to natural disasters and FEMA deployments. They've already gone and done this, and we've already sent the reimbursement bill and been awarded the reimbursement for their time that they were there. However, because the money coming in is a new type of revenue, we need to establish a new org key so that it can be accepted and then moved back into the general fund.
This is full reimbursement?
Yes.
This is it? Okay. All right, vote.
Vote on motion 20-995. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-996, in the matter of approving supplemental appropriations and transfer of funds.
So move.
Second, discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mike Fromer, County Administrator. What we have here with this, the supplementals we have are to fund the small business program as well as the community enhancement programs. Some of the transfer of funds, we actually got our casino revenue payment, and it was about $100,000 more than it traditionally is, so.
Really?
People are back using
Yeah, it was
casinos.
way down in the
after
second quarter and then back up.
Stay-at-home order, so casino revenue after the shutdown is up about 25%. So also, we have some funds for the dog kennel as well. Periodically, throughout the years, we will provide them additional resources. They actually collect all their fees in December and January, like most of their dog tags, that's when the renewal is, so it creates some challenges on the revenue side. So that's what's included in the supplemental and transfer of funds resolution.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 20-996. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-997, in the matter of authorizing the Delaware County 2020 Small Business Protection Program and adopting the Delaware County 2020 Small Business Protection Program guidelines, terms, and conditions in form of grant agreement.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. This resolution, we've talked about the program over the last couple weeks. At the beginning of COVID, we worked with some of our partners, the DCFA, and some townships to create a revolving loan fund where it was up to $25,000 loans. The next kind of phase, part two here, is the small business grant component where it would be up to $15,000. There's $2 million in the pool of funds. It's targeted for the industries the service industries that had the largest impact during COVID. The main criteria are operating losses and impact of their business operations based on COVID-19, the stay-at-home orders, and the reopening guidelines. The program is going to be open this week, pending this resolution, and go through December 4th. So.
Yeah, the resolution spells out the criteria. It's got to be a for-profit, it's got to be registered, it's got to be located in Delaware County, kind of the others. The financial information has to be submitted demonstrating the impact of the pandemic. So, again, as we've talked, this is a really good program that we're really trying to help our local small businesses through this really tough time. So anyway, again, we've
No,
worked on
I think it's great, and it's important that we really get the word out to people since there's a deadline coming up pretty soon, and they really need the money. So I like the way it's structured too, with your priorities, as you mentioned, hotels, motels, restaurants, retail, medical, technology, professional services, and light industrial.
And again, businesses with less than 25 employees.
Correct,
It's
correct.
truly
That's
the smaller
right,
ones.
that's right.
Yep. Professional services, technology.
You're right.
I think it's very well designed, and hopefully it'll really help our local businesses.
Yes, yes.
Vote, Sarah?
Vote on motion 20-997. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
That brings us to administrative reports.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mike Fromer, County Administrator. One of the things, and I hope I don't steal any of your thunder that you would have under comments, but I had the opportunity the first time in working with the county to go to the Board of Elections, to see the folks come in with the votes from the different polling locations and watch them be processed and uploaded. I figure if I was going to do a first time, this was going to be the one to do. And I have to say, leading up to the election, the comments and compliments that we've all gotten regarding the Board of Elections, their performance election night was no different than what has happened. I kind of wanted to give some special acknowledgement to Jane Hawes. Jane was there till very late, handling their social media. She's been working with the Board of Elections and handling that. Marissa has been giving an assist to that, and they were kind of running that night, and just thanks to them. But Anthony, Carla Heron and Anthony Sadie deserve so much credit, and their team. They had 1,200 poll workers, and 90% of them were first-time poll workers. Wow. So to have 90% of a new staff that night and to have it run as seamless as it did was pretty, it was fascinating to watch, and so much credit to them, their board, and everything. There was a lot of eyes on this election. So it was really interesting to see Carla walk around to each of the groups, and everything from the building custodial staff to the people uploading electronic and providing her leadership throughout the night. So anyway, just wanted to share that, and kudos to them. And Delaware County was all over the national media,
It sure was.
and,
It was.
and,
It was.
from, the polling. Unfortunately, it was on there for the early returns, but anyway, so just wanted to provide that to you guys, so.
Yeah.
Well, that is very, very good, and it wasn't just election day, it was all the month ahead of time, and really the planning before that. The early voting center went so smoothly, I heard nothing but compliments, and so on. So again, great work by our entire Board of Elections team.
Right, right. Thanks for going and
Yeah.
and seeing it firsthand.
I wish I could have helped more. I was just observing and watching, and it was definitely a well-managed, organized, it's pretty exciting to see, they kind of pull up from the polling locations, come in, they got all the checks and the way the process is. It's definitely a lot of, excitement, and it was really good. I think the new equipment and the way we were able to get the uploads and stuff like that, I think really, and things ran, seamless on that side of things, so.
Yeah, it's interesting observation, because look at some of the other states now that are
That's
literally
right.
in chaos days after the election, and they aren't close to having the final.
Yeah, I've had several people, just in passing, I'm sure you guys have too, and, I tell people that are Delaware County residents and voted here that your voting experience here is not, it's a very high standard compared to probably some of the other voting processes and experiences in some of these other cities and states, so. But,
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
and there'll be a lot of litigation, or, over those other states.
Yes.
They're just
Yes,
very poorly run elsewhere, so.
yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Commissioner Lewis?
Well, I'd like to congratulate
Oh,
Commissioner Benton
thank you.
on your victory. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And also, Mike, your comments, or Director Fromer, your comment, not director, oh gosh, administrator, sorry. I just
Different title,
demoted
we
you.
didn't know it.
Yeah. Your comments are just right on point, and, gosh, congratulations to the whole staff, to Carla, to Anthony, and to all the staff. And then I did not realize that of the 1,200 poll workers, 90% were new. I mean, that's really, that's great, and to have it go so smoothly. It's wonderful. Boy, I hope they sleep well now. Oh, gosh.
They've earned it.
Oh, they've earned it, yes, right. That's all I
Okay.
have.
Just a couple other things. Let's see, the Records Commission met yesterday. Chris Shaw is doing a nice job there. They are looking at more shared services with the townships. They're interested in having Chris do their records retention work. Makes sense. She's an expert at it. They have great equipment and processes and so on in place. So again, if we can help the townships or cities or villages, we're certainly interested in talking to them. Morpsey Executive Committees this afternoon. Arts Castle has a preview party online tonight from, I think, 6 to 8. So if you're so inclined to look at the stuff they've got to sell, and then there's entertainment and so on, then tonight's, you can still sign up and do the virtual preview party. Sevco's tomorrow, and then lastly, we have Veterans Day celebration rededication scheduled for next Wednesday at 11 a.m. On November 11th, 11 at 11 o'clock.
Yes.
And that's intentional, because that's when the armistice was signed in World War I, which has created Veterans Day. Again, we've announced that we're having a rededication ceremony out here in front of the historic courthouse in the Veterans Plaza, celebrating the memorial there. So, and that's at 11. The streets will be blocked. We're looking forward to really good attendance. Hopefully the weather will cooperate, because we can't move that inside.
Right.
But, so we'll see. But
2
again,
years.
just want to make sure everybody knew.
Right, to your point about that, you're right, we can't, there will be no tours of the building because
Yeah,
there's still
unfortunately.
construction in the
Yeah, there's
building.
still
It's an
construction.
active construction site, so there will not be any tours.
But it will be open soon after November 11th.
Soon, yes, soon.
And John Melvin has assured us it will be
Yeah.
right after November 11th.
Yes, they're working very hard.
They're close, and it's looking beautiful, so. Okay, we do have need for executive session. Sarah?
Resolution number 20-998, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of employment of a public employee or public official.
So moved.
Second, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 20-998. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Bennett?
Aye. All right, we are in executive session.
Isn't that funny? Checking everything out.
Resolution number 20-999, in the matter of adjourning out of executive session.
So moved.
Second, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 20-999. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Bennett?
Aye. What'd you say? Mitten. Well, we have a new attendee. to-
yes, we
Bang the gavel. You wanna bang the gavel?
Coco. Yeah. Are we adjourned? Yes. Oh, great, okay.